no client, no day is the same.
Yeah.
And I love that challenge, spreading more awareness around paralysis and disability. My dad actually has a spinal cord injury. I kind of grew up a little bit in this world.
Hi guys, I'm here today with Ashton. She's gonna tell us a little bit about what she does. Thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm very excited to be chatting with you. So like Chris said, my name is Ashton Wray. I have worked at The Perfect Step for almost 13 years. In like 6 months, became a specialist. Over time, I've worked my way into more of like leadership role and management role. And I am director of education and director of operations.
Nice. How did you know about The Perfect Step?
I originally heard about The Perfect Step through my father. After I had graduated college from the University of Colorado, I moved back to California and was looking for a job, and I always knew I wanted to go into rehab. My dad knew about the Be Perfect Foundation, which is a nonprofit that works alongside The Perfect Step. He said, I think there's this like rehab facility that's affiliated with Be Perfect. You should check it out. They happened to be hiring at the time, and I interviewed and got the job.
Me and Ashton, they knew me since I was a little boy.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of training you and kicking your booty for several years. I think we started working together, when you were like 8 maybe or so?
Yeah.
And now you're in college. Crazy.
Yeah.
Makes me feel old.
Thank you very much for working me really hard. You guys have been really supportive of me. I really appreciate it.
Well, likewise. I mean, you've been a long-standing client of TPS, and it's been super fun, not just watching your growth in, your physical journey, but your mental journey and just growth as a human. And like I said, turning from this little boy into a man, it's wild, but it's been such a pleasure to see and super fun.
How would you explain The Perfect Step?
Yeah, great question. The most basic way of saying it probably is that we're an outpatient paralysis recovery center. So we do rehab for people who are paralyzed from a spinal cord injury or a neurological diagnosis. So we treat individuals that have CP, like yourself, stroke, Parkinson's, ALS, MS, traumatic brain injury, and like I said, spinal cord injuries.
What is your favorite part about the job?
Oh man, so many things. But I would say one thing that has stayed super consistent from 13 years ago when I started to now is the challenge that it gives me mentally, physically, emotionally. It hits every mental box that I can think of, and I love that challenge.
Yes.
I like that every day when I come into work, it's not the same thing. Yeah. One, that my position has grown throughout the 13 years, but also two, working and treating clients during therapy sessions. No client, no day is the same. Yeah. And I love that challenge. Yeah. It's not just by the book. It's not by the box. Yeah. I really enjoy that.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your dad.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, my dad is the one who originally knew about the Be Perfect Foundation. Yeah. My dad has a spinal cord injury and is a quadriplegic. He got injured, I want to say like 45 years ago, was diving off a boat in Havasu. Instantly became paralyzed. He dedicated his mind and his life and his body to recovery. And he's very fortunate to be ambulatory and walking. He definitely still has his setbacks and the things that he deals with every day. I kind of grew up a little bit in this world. I would say actually the other thing that I really love about this job is how much it's actually taught me about my dad. I see a dad that can do so much, not realizing how much physically and mentally he actually still deals with on a day-to-day basis. It's been really nice to understand him on a new level, and then also be able to share that kind of education and knowledge that I have now with my family so they can as well.
Did you ever like train?
I didn't growing up, and even when I grew a stronger passion for like rehab and training and therapy, I definitely didn't. Once I became a little bit more educated and experienced, I would say, in the specialist training role, I have a little bit at home. It's during kind of like COVID times and stuff. Definitely worked with him a little bit more so, I would say, on like his gait and his walking. He did come to the Perfect Step for a little while. My mom and I try to get him back monthly. So Dad, if you're listening, come back. You need it. And I think also he'd inspire so many people too while he's here. You know, you understand the community that our clients have on the floor. I have a little bit, but not as much as I probably should. I think that he would listen and do better probably to someone that's not me. I see him so much that I might not look in that detailed eye that I probably should be.
If you had to explain your job in 3 words, what would it be?
Purposeful. One of the main reasons why I wanted to go into a field like this, something that gave me purpose and to help people. Next, I would say beautifully challenging. Like I said earlier, the challenge that it gives on and off the floor, physically, mentally, emotionally. And lastly, I would say uniquely fun. I wouldn't say it would be like the fun that everyone would think when you would just say the word fun. I think it's unique in its way of fun, of, like I said earlier, the community, the support, and just how different this job is. It's really fun thinking on your feet and having to adapt, and I find enjoyment in that.
In the past 13 years that you've been working here, what other lessons have you learned?
Great question. What lessons have I learned? I would say, just a lot about myself. Obviously growth in professionalism and my knowledge in this community and adaptability. I would also say I don't necessarily think this is so much a lesson I personally have learned, but more so a lesson that I love to give to others, is the cliche, almost kind of like don't judge a book by its cover type thing. So much of the world assumes that someone in a wheelchair is automatically like mentally affected, right? Or like cognitively affected, and not everyone is. They're human. They're just in a chair instead of walking, and they can have, like we are right now, have a full-on conversation with you. And I think I was a little bit more aware, obviously, about that coming into this field, but like I said, so much of the world is not. And so teaching that lesson and spreading awareness around this community. To answer your question of something maybe more I have learned being here, it's helped me with patience for sure. I just so eagerly want to help people and expect more in their recovery, but patience in the journey of the recovery, because not everything happens at the snap of a finger. And knowing that maybe we're not seeing physical changes immediately, but there's mental and emotional changes happening.
What is your hopes for this company moving forward?
I would say it kind of blends into what I was just saying, like spreading more awareness around paralysis and disability, and making the world more accessible in a way to this community. Not just, physically accessible, but people understanding and treating everyone the same, like I said earlier. And like how TPS could be involved in something like that is, going into like hospitality or the airline, or even just like a regular fitness gym, and training 1 or 2 people on their staff on, giving them education on paralysis and secondary complications and the different types of disabilities, so they have a better understanding if someone were to come into, their world or their work, and they know how to approach them and treat them. On the physical side of that, teaching them on how to lift, right? Properly lift you guys so you aren't injured or hurt when getting like on and off a plane or in and out of a car or things like that. And then on like the gym and like fitness side is allowing this population to feel accepted and included in a generic gym. We have our clients that come here, but it's only 1 to 3 times a week. So what are they doing those other days that they're not here? And allowing them to feel like they have a place to go in a regular LA Fitness or 24-hour fitness. With those types of gyms, training someone or a couple people on their staff of how to do adaptive movements or put on gloves and help someone feel accepted and included in like a regular gym. And also too, getting more like adaptive equipment into regular gyms, I think would be super cool.
What kind of that you think would be beneficial for them to use, maybe just to practice exercising?
Well, your body itself could be a tool, right? I think if your assistive device is a wheelchair, just getting out of the chair as much as possible is extremely beneficial. That way, the wheelchair is great for mobility and independence in daily life, but what it's doing to our clients' bodies isn't great. And so getting away from the position that the wheelchair keeps you in would be super beneficial, whether that's getting on the floor or on a bed. And then, just from there, active arm and leg movements. If you have someone, a family member or caregiver that can help take you through different ranges of motion would be super beneficial. Like a bouncy ball could be put like under the low back, or you could lay on your stomach on it, and it could help you with like balance and stability. You don't need much. You just got to have the mindset to do it, right? And to try and get out there and move, or like I said, have someone assist you in moving, forcing yourself to move as much as possible, opposite of the way you sit every day, to help try and compensate for what the wheelchair is doing to your body.
Thank you for your advice, hopefully, and I appreciate it, because sometimes we all need little reminders.
The extra push. Everybody does, even me. You get lost in the day-to-day of work or school or family, and if you didn't sleep well the night before, everyone has a reason or excuse not to exercise, or not to get their body moving, or not to go to therapy that day. And we all could use the extra reminder or push. So for everyone listening, when you're done listening, get up and move.
Yeah. Maybe take a walk around the block.
Yeah. Get some sunshine too.
Get some fresh air. Get out of the house.
Not only helps you physically, but will help you mentally and emotionally as well.
I know you guys like to scroll on Instagram, and maybe we should stop doing it and listening to our bodies.
Yeah. That's great advice. They should listen to you too.
Thank you very much, Ashton, for coming on today. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me and asking me. It's my pleasure, and I hope to do it again.
Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.